Today we're looking to wall up our opponent with a massive cat by blowing up all the board with Fade from History and swinging in with Ygra, Eater of All. The way this works is Ygra, Eater of All says other creatures you control, other creatures are food artifacts in addition to their other types, and then whenever a food is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put 2/1 counters on Ygra, Eater of All. If we combo that with something like Fade from History, which says each player who controls an artifact or enchantment creates a 2/2 bear creature token and then destroy all artifacts and enchantments. We're to blow up all the creatures on the battlefield, put a bunch of +1 counters on Ygra, Eater of All, and be able to swing in to smack the opponent in the face and hopefully win the game. So that's the idea behind the deck. Notably, Fade from History creates the bears and then destroys all artifacts and enchantments. Those bears will be foods because of Ygra, and then they'll blow up, and this will increase the count for Ygra, or like the number of foods that go into graveyards, making it even bigger, which is pretty cool. We have some tutors and stuff to try and help set this up. We have Beseech the Mirror, which can find Fade from History, Huntsman's Redemption, which can help find Ygra, Eater of All. Besides that, we're playing a bunch of removal to hopefully just not die and lose and whatever. Mosswood Dreadknight, so maybe we can loop it and draw a bunch of cards. Scavenging Ooze for some graveyard hate that we hopefully draw into Reanimator decks or graveyard combo decks. Also, this is nice because if you're into like mono red and you kill everything they play, you can start pumping in a bunch of mana into the Ooze, gaining life and getting a big beater. We're playing Sentinel Nameless City because it makes map tokens. It's vigilant, so it can go offensive and defensive, and then it has 4 toughness, so it's a really good blocker and dodges nowhere to run, which can be problematic. Besides that, we also have Gix's Command as a sort of sweeper in the deck, which hopefully will keep around our Ygra of Eater All, but it also can act as graveyard recursion and a way to grant lifelink. Obstinate Baloth gives us kind of hate against any sort of discard deck, so hopefully we draw less into those matchups, and that's pretty much the deck. Let's see how we can do on the ranked ladder. We'll say this is much more of a for fun deck. Standard is just I don't know. I've had a rough time with this deck in ranked as I'm trying to record this video. The first game got to do the thing pretty much flawlessly, and every other game besides that, it's been blowout after blowout. So notably, I will say, for playing Shoot the Sheriff, do not play Go for the Throat in this deck, because if you turn everything into food artifacts, you're not going to be able to go for throat anything. So just one other little note there. Anyways, if you enjoy this video and want to see more videos like it, consider subscribing, and like the video if you're enjoying it. And yeah, let's hop into the games. Opponent goes first. That's never a good thing. Yeah, 10 seems alright, I guess. We have lots of removal. We have Duress, which hopefully can set the opponent off of what they're planning to do. Do we just Mortuary the first turn? Nah, let's go for this. The opponent's on Rakdos, so they could have like Brass Forge and Sacrifice. Nope, it is Rakdos, like Midrange or something? I don't know. Don't know what you want to call a deck that's playing both Bat, Go for the Throat, and Screaming Nemesis. Very interesting combination of cards. I want to shout out Search for Wisdom, who was asking me to revisit this kind of Ygra style of deck where you blow up everything, all artifacts. They particularly shouted out Fade from History and wanted to see Ygra with Fade from History, so that's why we are playing the deck today. And man, I watched the video, the old video that I did on Ygra, Eater of All, and it looked pretty fun. We got a lot of silly wins in that video, so hopefully we'll be able to recreate that some. What is the opponent up to? I mean, I guess I'll play Scavenging Ooze. Is there any creature in the graveyard? Nah, we'll just wait. Remove something. The opponent goes for the... Oh. Okay. That's kind of annoying. Overlord of the Boiler Bilges is going to deal 4 damage, and it's going to impend down. We'll just get rid of this Deep Cavern Bat. We have a new Nowhere to Run back in our hand. We have Tapland, which kind of stinks. Play the Scoos. And pass the turn. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have like a bolt for their Screaming Nemesis, because I would like to be able to gain some life. They're gonna stop us from gaining life. I hate you and everything you stand for, opponent. Oh my god. Why is this card printed? I'm so frustrated right now. I'm sorry, everyone. It's just like not a good day for me in the arena, I guess. I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna be able to gain the life because this card exists. Stupid card. There's the Forge. We don't have our... We could still win here in a short period of time. Doesn't really matter, but we can just eat some of the cards in their graveyards. We don't have any creatures in ours, so... If we can find the right card, we can pretty much end the game here. Next turn. I think. Razorkin Needlehead. Screaming Nemesis. It has haste. Because why wouldn't it? It gets bigger. Unimpend. That is fine. That is not what we need to see, because we need something that actually deals with stuff. My goodness. Alright. Does this read ahead? No, this does not read ahead. Ugh. Attack a creature. I mean, we can't block the Screaming Nemesis. We need a blocker for the Forge. We can play the Baloth, or we could play the Huntsman's Redemption. Play the Huntsman's Redemption. Maybe that'll set something up, and we can then level up the Ooze. When we go for attacks, though, if the opponent doesn't block here, they have to block. Okay, we will go ahead and do this. Need the opponent not to draw into any action, and we'll be able to win. The Ygra is getting massive, but it doesn't really matter if the opponent has the right card. Another Forge is not lethal. We live. Opponent just swings in, strangely enough. And they have no blockers, so I guess we just win. Alright, well, you know what? I'll take a win. My goodness, that was annoying. Alright, opponent goes first again. Not good news. I guess we'll keep this. We have removal and a creature. I don't really think it's good, but I don't think that it gets that much better if we're going second anyways. I'm playing 3 cut downs, 3 Duresses, 2 Anoint with Affliction, 2 Nowhere to Runs, 2 Sheoldred's Edicts. Okay, we have lots of cheap removal, but we don't have the card that works with this, so we'll just discard the Ygra. Alright, this is a good matchup to have the Fade from History, because we can just blow up all of their enchantments, which would be pretty cool. We play Mosswood Dreadknight. Or is it better to anoint with Affliction? Go Scooze. Oh, this is gonna get bad. Probably shouldn't have played Scooze because they're just gonna know where to run it, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Things are gonna be bad regardless of how this goes, I feel like. I should stop saying things are bad. They're gonna turn out great. Everything's gonna be awesome. Do we... What do we do? I mean, I could draw a card with Dread Whisperers. Or Whispers. Let's do that. I think we need to get value here. The opponent's not quite threatening lethal or anything, but yeah, that's pretty annoying. Should draw them like a card or two. Only, yeah, triggers every single one. It's not once per turn. It's a little bit problematic in that regard. Wish I held up removal for that. Wait. Opponent can't attack as the Scooze. You love that. Alright. We set up Ygra Eater of All here soon. Was it best to just play this? I don't think we needed a land. And then Anoint. Yeah, I think we kill the entity tracker here. They have a lot of attackers, but if the opponent forces a discard, we can handle that. We can just discard an Ygra and then exile it with a Scooze, and then we can block the X-Mage. Scavenging Ooze, it's still good. Though there's an argument to holding on to an Ygra, but go ahead, eat it. Tasty. Play the big creature and chill. We just need to find a Beseech the Mirror or Fade from History. This is like one of those matchups where you wish you had every single Fade from History in your hand, because you could just nuke the opponent's game plan. But you're never going to draw it in the matches you don't want to see it, and then you draw it in all the matches you do. Like, it's just... it's so bad. Alright, we can completely wallop the opponent here with the Dix's command if we want. I think that's... We don't have any creatures in our graveyard. I forgot that we have the recursion, but that's fine. It's going to be absolutely massive, and it's going to be lifelinking. And the opponent doesn't want to play anymore. Get wrecked, Dimir. That felt good. Alright, opponent goes first. Can I stop seeing those words? I'm 3-3 with the deck over the 2 versions that I've made of it, so that's actually a little bit more encouraging. We'll keep this. We got the removal and some tutors. Maybe that's good. Ooh. This is domain. Well, it's not domain, but it's like the overlords probably. This is gonna be a great matchup to nuke all enchantments. Or maybe it's Selesnya token control. There's gonna be overlords and enchantments, I'm almost certain of it. Or the opponent's just not gonna play the game. And I'm not going to either, I guess. I make token. You may sacrifice a creature if you do. Search your library for creature card or creature or basic land. We can sacrifice We find Ygra, right? Opponent knows what we're planning. I can play a Nowhere to Run to set up the Beseech the Mirror into the card we want. We just need them to not kill the Ygra immediately if we can avoid it. The opponent's not on Zero Overlords, which is good, because that is probably one of the strongest brews. I can turn an Overlord into a creature turn 5 and gain like 5 to 6 life, or 5 to 7 life. The only problem with like the Zero deck is that I don't own Zero, so I don't really want to craft it, and Zero's rotating this year. Maybe it's worth if the deck holds up over time, but I don't know. I like playing new things, so not too concerned. Here, I'll give you a +2/+2. Enjoy it, opponent. I need the opponent not to sweep for a turn. If we can be friends, opponent, we can be friends. Do not Sunfall the one creature. They could spot removal it since they do have that creature, which is kind of lame, but it's just a 6/6. It couldn't do anything wrong. The opponent probably knows that we're going to be trying to do something crazy with Ygra. So I feel like I've never seen Ygra just played as like a fair creature. It's always played in conjunction with like some food sack combo or a total nuke. No. I feel like the opponent's going to Sunfall. We could be friends. Just cast another Overlord. Hellish Norn? Okay. That was not what I was expecting. Well, we get to do the thing. Let's try it out. And then they kill the 2/2s, and this gets pretty big. We killed all their beanstalks, so they're not going to draw a bunch of cards. And then we get them pretty low, and we have a Restless Cottage to finish them off if they don't have a ton of instant speed removal. So even if they kill this at this point, we can pressure them with the Cottage. That is fine. Because you know what it is? It is Cottage time. We'll go ahead and exile. We'll exile the Sunfall. Creatures we can exile to rescues potentially. One needs to put down several blockers here, I think. That was satisfying though. Blowing up all the Overlords and the Beanstalks. Kind of what I wanted to do. Again, shout out to Search for Wisdom for the Fade from History plus Ygra request. We have the mana to Anoint if they go to animate their creature here. Okay, we don't have enough removal yet for this, but we'll get rid of one. See if we can fight our way through. That is not going to quite do it. Draw a card. See if we find a cut down. Not a cut down either, but we can force them into blocking. We could play out the Mosswood Dreadknight, but they could just Sunfall again. Is there anything that we could play? If I had we have no direct damage here, so we just kind of gotta push through. Is it worth attacking in? We get another food token, which is kind of cool. I think we just play Sentinel. Crack the map. Edict seems alright. And we'll play the Dreadknight as well. We're gonna go up some life here, but I don't think that's gonna change whether or not if we're able to win. Opponent. They drew enough cards where they can just hold this off. We're gonna lose, aren't we? How much mana do we have? Not enough. Alright, I think we're gonna at least put our opponent down to one less life. Alright, opponent. Got another Alice Norn. And I guess we can just go in like this. GG. That was starting to get a little worried there. Not bad. Alright, you go first. That's a new one. Give it a go. I feel like we're due for a loss. I lost 3 in a row, now we've won 3 in a row. Cut down. We have the Gix's command, so if we can just make it to that. We already have Anoint. I think we just want land. Oh no. Every time. The Azorius control players are out in force now. We'll get rid of Split Up. Don't know if we really care about making things tap. Removal here is not very good into a deck that does not play many creatures. And so we're gonna feel pretty silly here, just doing nothing much of anything. Okay. I don't think this will matter, but we'll get a swamp. That way we have 3 black for Beseech the Mirror if we need it. Opponent probably trying to stop us from being able to swing in with the cottage, but also reducing our land count, so it's less likely we draw into more, but we're good. We're just good like that. We drew into 1. Alright, well, send it. Ah, we did it. Alright, bye-bye. We got rid of the Mindsplice apparatus, which was going to start discounting all their spells. It allows them to draw a bunch of cards with the right spells. We'll play a Obstinate Baloth. That felt good though. We destroyed 6 mana value for 2, or for 4 rather. Fabled Passage. I'm not a huge fan of Fabled Passage in Standard right now. Anchorage is kind of annoying. We have the Anoint though that we can use to kill it. We'll just kill that and start swinging in. We need to like fish out this counterspell, or I don't know what we gotta do. Alright, they're not gonna swing in, which is nice for us. Swing with the Baloth. We don't have any particularly strong answers into control. Run Ygra out into a counterspell. Whatever we play is probably gonna get countered. Don't think we actually can cast anything. Opponent's probably just gonna draw some cards. No, they're gonna hold up the counterspell. They could make a copy of their anchorage if they activate it, which is kind of funny. Probably gonna now make a copy of their Mindsplice apparatus, so if we force them to use a counterspell, we can stop them from doing that. We'll play out a Baloth. Or I guess we could play Ygra, but that gets hit harder by Sweeper. Probably save this for post-Sweeper. Opponents probably has a Sweeper. They did not copy their Mindsplice apparatus with the 3 steps ahead. Well, I wasn't wrong that they had a Sweeper. Kinda sucks that it's Sunfall, because Sunfall is one of the most disgusting designs ever, because there's no... They get a body that they can block with, and everything's exiled, so you can't get it back from the grave. I can swing in with the cottage and just try and make it happen. Opponent is probably going to try and block it, I would assume. Anything in the graveyard that matters here. I don't think they have any recursion, so I don't think it does. They're going to toss their anchorage in front of it. That's kind of wild. I would have thrown the token away first. Okay. What spell do they have? This pretty much determines the game, or the outcome of the game. What card they drew. I guess Cottage is our answer to control. Just like one of the best creature lands. I had to make a tier list of the restless lands. I'd probably put Cottage at the top with the Dimir one second, because they're both 4/4s. And they both have activate or like attack triggers that are pretty good. One mills, so it works well with kind of these control. Opponent tapped out of their blue mana by accident, because they would have been able to counterspell with the discount. Well, GG. Okay, you go first. We're gonna have a land drops issue with this hand, I feel like. 5-drop, 5-drop, 4-drop, but we do have some really good 1-drops. Let's just top deck well. Let us just top deck well. Turn 1 Duress is brutal. I don't like you, opponent. I'm just gonna say it. We are not friends. Boros Mice is going to be problematic. Probably try and cut down the Manifold Mounts if they run it out. Before they go to combat. Goodbye. This means they don't get the trigger to give this double strike, and they don't get the Valiant trigger. Give it a +1 counter. We're getting towards Gix's command, but Gix's command is better when you actually have like a creature to pair with it. Oh my goodness, they have another Manifold Mouse. Alright, nowhere to run. Sheoldred's Edict, shoot the sheriff. It's a Baloth. Okay, well, could be worse. Could have been worse. Could have been Beseech the Mirror. Opponent stuck on 2 lands, but that's not really a problem when your deck is potent. Gaining 4 life is pretty relevant. Sheltered by Ghost is pretty cool because that means we get the ETB back, but they're about to do a bunch of damage, gain a bunch of life. That land drop would be oh so good. That's not bad. I will shoot the mouse, right? I think this is the right move. I mean, I guess I could have waited until they attacked, but they could have like a Shard Mage's Rescue if I pass it back to their turn. The life total goes down and then goes back up. Ygra or Gix's command. If we can hit that 5th land drop, things are going to start looking pretty good. No, you don't have another. Don't lie. Alright, hero. That's fine. Scavenger. Kind of annoying, but Gix's command still can do a bunch of work. Land off the top. No. Oh man. Now the Heartfire here is going to be kind of harder to kill with the Gix's command. I was really hoping to prevent their creatures from getting higher than 2 power so we can just destroy each creature with 2 power or less. Is that just death? That's death. Oh my god. Okay, you go first. Cut down, shoot the Sheriff's Ooze. We'll keep. We like that. Anoint with Affliction, we'll take that. Hopefully the opponent's not playing Azorius control. Please no. Opponent, what are you up to? Daring today, I see. We will go for the cut down play, I think. We'll just cut down right now, and then we can set up for an Anoint with Affliction later on. We don't mind taking 1 damage, and then our cut down gets value. We don't have to worry about it being fizzled while they're tapped out. Because if they have Monstrous Rage, they can make it so it doesn't resolve, which kind of stinks. It's like one of the things that has changed, or like cut down has kind of warped these decks so that the pump spells can fizzle the cut downs in the right situations. Okay. I kind of want to set up my next draw. I guess I'll take a land. We're getting towards a Skews here, and we have Anoint with Affliction to exile the Heartfire hero, so we won't take damage to the death trigger, which is nice. Rockface Village is kind of annoying. Another creature is also quite annoying. Everything needs to die. Opponent doesn't cast any pump spells. I think we take the damage and then go for the removal after combat. This way we kind of force them to hold up their pump spell, or hold on to their pump spell. Get rid of the thing that can draw them cards, or get them card advantage. And then play the Cottage, and we'll hold up Anoint with Affliction. And then the following turn, this card gets to take over the game because we just eat up their creatures and gain life, and it becomes a big blocker. Opponent might just use their Rockface Village. That would probably be the best way of fishing out my removal, is just using Rockface Village and then casting like another 2-drop maybe. We don't care if it gets pumped because we're just going to exile it anyways. Opponent will probably use a pump spell on something else besides the Heartfire hero. Alright, opponent holds on to their removal. Smart move. But I will get rid of this now so we can resolve our ooze next turn. Strike our face. Kind of painful, but they haven't stopped our life gain yet. Screaming Nemesis. That card is way too pushed. I hate it. Unrelated, but I was just looking at the price of the card. It's like $20. $20 for non-commander card. It's just purely the fact that it gets played in standard in other formats. It's greedy to run out Ygra, but I kind of want to do it. We won't. We'll do this. Exile, gain a life. Perfect. Now we have a 4/4 blocker, so if they do Monstrous Rage, the Swift Spear does at least die. So if they have something to go with Monstrous Rage, then it doesn't die. We have Restless Cottage that we'll be able to start attacking in with to make foods. A Witchstalker Frenzy. Okay. Absolutely fine. We can attack in with a cottage, but then we can't crack the food, so I might just play Ygra for the turn. This they won't be able to remove with the Witchstalker's Frenzy. What are you gonna do? Mono red. We got the cat. Meow. I wish the art was like a little bit less like kind of clouded. It's almost like there's a dust storm or something going on. What's a food? Food. Opponent cannot beat the cat. Scoops up. Alright, that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Again, shout out to Search for Wisdom, who has like requested this kind of combo here in Fade from History and Ygra. Built a Ygra deck before, but Fade from History just seems like it's a pretty good kind of tech card against the Overlord decks right now, and it works well in the combo. Notably though, do I think this deck is good? Well, we went 6-4 with the deck, so that's a 60% win rate. That's cool, but I do not think this deck is necessarily going to be the most competitive, because in certain matchups, you're going to draw the Fade from Histories, the Beseech the Mirrors, stuff like that, when you really don't want to see them. And this card is kind of specific. It's meta dependent and specific to the deck that you're facing. So just drawing a card that doesn't work in every matchup can be kind of a weakness of a deck here in best of one. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to see more like it, and consider checking out the other videos. There should be one on the screen right about now. Anyways, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Take care of yourself. Ciao.